Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear student, today we'll start our next chapter that is related to the foreign exchange market. As we know that foreign exchange market is a market which is mainly in dealing with different currencies, and it's actually the over-the-counter market and working 24 hours a day, and you can exchange any kind of currency at any time. There is minimum chances of changing in prices in different market. Let's start with this chapter. We know that most of the countries of the world have their own currencies. Like America has US dollar, the European Union they have their euro. It's actually the euro is the currency which is covering the whole almost the whole Europe. Now the British has exit from eurozone, so therefore they are using their pound sterling, then the Brazilian real and the Chinese yuan. And there are many other currencies. As Pakistan, we are using Pakistani rupee, Indian rupee, and there are different type of currencies which are there, and every country has their own significant currency. So the trading of these currencies and bank deposits is actually what make up the foreign exchange market. The foreign exchange market is actually is a market in which currencies of different countries trade, and buying and selling of these currencies are done in this market. Currency rates are the most important component of our foreign exchange markets. And when we talk about foreign exchange rates, there are two kind of exchange rate transaction which make up the foreign exchange market. Number one is spot transaction. And what is spot transaction? As the name suggests, that at spot, at in instant of time. So it involves the near immediate exchange of bank deposit completed at spot rate. Spot rate is that rate which is prevailing at that point when you are making transaction, or you are making the converting your currency into another other currency. Then there are certain forward transaction. These are the transaction which are done at some future date, and there are promises and contracts based upon such future date, but it is being done at forward rate. You will confirm that you will confirm and decide at current date that this transaction would be completed at this future rate, and the rate would be decided before the transaction is being done. So a forward transaction involved at some future date, and it is actually being done at some a forward rate which is being decided at present. Now, from this slide, we can see that the like Canadian dollar is fluctuating from different exchange rates from 1990 to 2000, and the same fluctuation says should be seen with for British pound. Then Japanese yen has also been fluctuated. It's actually rather many volatile. Then euro fluctuations can be seen. So the exchange rate of every currency will increase and decrease within a specified time period and within in specified ranges. Exchange rate is a determinant, or you can say it's exchange rate is a variable which is determined by the supply and demand forces of of the currency which is traded in the market, and based upon that their exchange rate is determined. As exchange rate is a very economic important my macroeconomic variable, because it can directly impact many things, like when a currency of your country appreciate relative to another country, like your the value of your currency has increased, so your goods prices will also increase abroad, and foreign goods prices decrease in your country. So in this case, in this case, it makes domestic business less competitive, and benefit consumer who are within your country, because they are getting foreign goods in lesser prices. So this will create certain times it will create problems, or in certain time it can give you a good insight into it. You have to see that what are conditions in the market, and based upon that the investor or the investor can make decision in order to purchase, or order to go for imports, order to go for export, and whatever the case is. So as this is a very powerful variable, which directly impact the prices of domestic and international products. Like we have said that exchange rates are very much important. So we can see with the help of this example, like in 1999, the euro was valued at $1.8. On April 26, 2006, it was valued at $1.36. So in this case, we can see that euro appreciated 15%. Like 1.36 minus 1.18 divided by 1.18, so it will give a 15% increase in the value of a euro. In the case of dollar depreciated from to 13%, and it is like, for example, 0.75 minus 0.85 is divided by 0.85. So now it is valued at a lower price, and you can say that it has depreciated. It has depreciated in its value. So what there are many factors which can contribute into the increasing or decreasing the value of currency rates, and they definitely have both increase or decrease, appreciation of the currency or depreciation of the currency has impact on different variables, like prices of within your country, or imports, prices of imports, prices of exports, your payment received, because when you are dealing in international market, you have to deal with these currencies. So a certain time this appreciation depreciation can decrease your receivables, or increase your payments, or so on. So these are certain impact which different currencies with the changes in the prices or exchange rate of different currencies in the world. This is actually a snapshot of different currencies and their exchange rate with Pakistan, like US dollar. It's a recent date, so we cannot get an exact values, because these values are changing on day-to-day basis. But it's actually a snapshot, so you can go through these currency rates and their buying and selling. Like your US dollar is buying at 160.50 Pakistani rupee, and selling at 161.30. Euro is 189.50 and selling at 193, and so on. All the currencies are there. So there are actually, if you see there, we will see two prices over here. One is for buying, and the other one is for selling. Actually, buying price is the price at which, when you present this dollar to your bank, so they'll purchase this US dollar in this price. And selling is when, if you go there with Pakistani rupees and want to buy dollar, so they will sell you a dollar in this rate. So this is actually the two rates. At one rate the bank will buy from you different currencies, and the other rate, which is the bank will sell you different currencies at different rates. Traded because when we are saying that foreign exchange market is a market where buying and selling of foreign currencies are done. So how this trade take place, because majority of time foreign exchange traders trade their transaction in over the counter market, because this is a market which is 24 hours open, and at any time if you want to exchange your currency, you can exchange it. So most traders trades involve buying and selling bank deposits dominating in different currencies, and trades in foreign exchange market involve transaction in excess of almost $1 million. And typically consumers buy foreign currencies from retail stores, dealers such as American Express. In Pakistan, we have a different type of exchange market. We have many unauthorized dealers are also there, but Western Union is an authorized dealer through which you can buy or sell your currencies. How the rate of exchange or exchange rate is determined in an open market. First of all, we will discuss how exchange rate is determined in the long run, and the main determinant which can help in the determination of these exchange rates is interaction of both supply and demand of different currencies. When there is excess supply of certain currencies, like people are selling that currency and buying another currency, so obviously its demand has declined, and its also exchange rate also declined. And same is the on the other hand, when the demand of certain currency increases, that people are willing to have that currency, more or more of that currency, so the value of that currency increase. An important concept which is the driving force of this demand and supply concept is the law of one price. And what is the law of one price? Actually, the law of one price is a theory which states that if you have identical products in different identical products, so the price of that product would be same in everywhere if there is no transaction cost or free trade. We will discuss in detail in the next slides. Now, the law of one price actually says that price of an identical good. What is identical good? Identical good is that good which is identical in aspect of its quality and aspect of its features, will be the same throughout the world, regardless of which country produces it, because the product is same. So whatever country produces it, there should be the same price for that product. For example, American steel cost $1 per $100 per ton, while Japanese steel cost 10,000 yen per ton. So in the next slide, I will elaborate this example. Now look into this example, like as we have seen in the, as we are saying about law of one prices. So if exchange rate is 50 yen is equal to $1, then prices are, if in US $100 is $100, then in Japan it would be 5,000 yen, and in Japanese steel it is actually price of Japanese steel would be $200 in US and 10,000 yen in Japan. If exchange rate is 100 yen per dollar, then the prices are in US $100 in US, and the same thing has 10,000 yen in Japan. And if in Japanese steel it would be it is $100, so obviously the price would be 10,000 yen in Japanese. So law of one price says that $1 is equal to 100 yen. Exchange rate in long run, a theory of purchasing power parity. Actually, this is a theory which states that exchange rate reflects to improve currencies will adjust to reflect the changing in price level. Like according to the purchasing power theory, the main determinant of exchange rate is the inflation rate, the general price level of that country. And obviously, this purchasing power parity theory is based on price of law of one price. We will elaborate that afterward. Like PPP states that if domestic price level increase by 10%, the domestic currency would depreciate with 10%, because you can now buy goods 10% less good from those from that currency. So it is actually an application of law of one price to price level, and it works in long run. According to the law of one price, when this dissimilarities are there, when there is increase in price level of one country. So according to law of one price, when one country has at the same identical goods have higher price in one currency, so obviously people will shift toward other currency in order to buy that good, buy that good, because their prices are the same over there, and there is no transaction cost, and there is free trade. So when the stage comes that the people will take their money from those countries where there are higher prices, and shift that currencies to the areas where there is lower prices. So the in this case the exchange rate will be equalized. There are certain limitations to theory of purchasing power parity, because when we are talking about identical goods, so, and actually in the real world we don't see that all the goods produced in different countries are of same. Like in Japan you can have a Toyota versus a Chevy. So actually these goods which are being produced are not only dependent on the raw material, but the amount of effort put by the human resource, the efficiency of human resource, and many other aspects, the climatic condition. All these things are all very important. So these things are not taken into consideration. And another limitation is that the many goods and services are not traded. Like for example, you cannot take your land from one area and put that land to another area. Or if you are getting a services like a haircut or a massage or a salon treatment, so these services are not actually traded. So in this case, this purchasing power theory, power parity theory is not applicable. There are many factors which can affect the exchange rate in the long run, and if that factor increases demand for domestic goods relative to foreign goods, the exchange rate increases. This is actually obviously the demand supply forces determine the exchange rate. So if any factor had an impact on the demand of the domestic or foreign goods, so it has an impact on the exchange rate. There are major four factors which can affect the exchange rate. Like there are price level, tariffs and quotas, preference for domestic and foreign goods, and productivity. Now relative price level, like as compared to the other countries, if your prices of your commodities or goods increases in your country, so obviously it has a negative impact on your country's currency, and your currency will depreciate. Same is the case with tariff and quotas. When you increase trade barriers, which and increase the taxes and trade taxes and etc., it will decrease the flow of foreign goods, and it has a positive impact on your currency, and your currency will appreciate. Then preference for domestic and foreign goods. Increased demands of your country's good causes its currency to appreciate. If we are willing to buy more goods of our country, and the countries are also demanding our goods, so it has a positive impact on the currency of our country, and it appreciate. But increase demand for imports good, like using more foreign goods, so it has a negative impact on the country currency, and our currency will depreciate. Then another thing is the productivity. If country is more productive relative to another country, it currency appreciate, because obviously if you are producing more of goods, more of services, and you are in a position to export those goods, so it has a positive impact on your currency, and your currency will strengthen. be seen with the help of this diagram. Like this diagram summarize all the factors and their change direction and their response on the exchange rate. If we see the domestic price level increases, if relative domestic price level increases, then the exchange rate would decrease. If trade barriers increase, the exchange rate will increase. If imports demanded increases, the exchange rate decreases. If export demand increases, like your products are going out of the country and people are buying your goods outside the country, it has a positive impact on your exchange rate. And if your productivity increase, your exchange rate will also increase.